Hello and welcome to Shooter Ready, the GBPRA podcast, brought to you by Boscobel Weapon Systems, manufacturers of the Bell Lock Bipod. I'm joined today by the Precision Rifle Series U.K. team. That is Adam Simpson.
Adam? Who's Adam?
Did I say Adam?
You said Adam.
Yeah. You're as bad as Kalen. What's going on?
So you know what? I was thinking, don't get James's name wrong. Because I think somebody got James's name wrong, didn't they, in another
Kalen did, yeah.
Not get James's name wrong. So I've screwed up already. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to leave it in.
Yeah, just roll with it.
I'm joined by Andy, James, and Trez of Precision Rifle Series U.K. Hello, guys. Say hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
All good, matey. All good.
Excellent.
Another night around James's in front of a podcast mic.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, you guys are like podcast royalty now. I mean, how many podcasts have you been on now?
What have we done? David Baker, you went on that way.
You've done on with David Baker. Two, I think.
Just Evan sent it in Modern Day Sniper twice.
Yeah, and then obviously this one as well. Yeah, we're in demand at the minute, but it won't last long.
God knows why.
I don't know about that. Like, I mean, you guys set up Precision Rifle Series UK, if I remember correctly, about 2 years ago. You ran a sort of an introductory couple of matches in 2021, but your first proper season was in 2022. Massive successful season for you guys and for precision rifle shooting in the UK. So actually, I probably reckon that you haven't peaked yet.
I'd like to think we have.
Yeah, I'd like to think we keep going a few more years.
Yeah, there's definitely a few more years in us before we start peaking, but. Yeah, we've not been around that long.
PRS was started long before anybody in the UK knew about it.
Oh yeah, me and Trez were like secret hush.
We was putting the balls in motion before COVID happened, and then COVID hit and obviously put the brakes on everything because no one knew if that was coming or going. And then as soon as we started to feel like it was opening back up, that's when we released. And plus, it gave us time to be able to get everything, all our ducks in a row, ready for the release of PRS. And that's when we brought James in to help us because me and Andy couldn't agree on anything at the start, so we needed a third person.
No, all three of us can't agree on anything.
No.
So James always has the casting vote, does he?
Not really, because I have my own opinion and it doesn't work either way.
I throw my toys out of the pram every now and then. These two have to.
Andy's the Mardy one, and we have to rein him in every now and again. But...
I think Ryan calls it passionate outbursts.
But I think the point is though. I mean, in the public eye, you guys have been going for less than 2 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
And in that time, it does look like you're going on from strength to strength. And I don't judge that just on what I see. I judge that on what I hear from the shooters. Every time I speak to a shooter after one of your matches, it just feels like the feedback just gets more appreciative, more complimentary of of what you guys are delivering in terms of the quality of your matches.
Yeah, we feel that it happened at a rate of knots, to be honest with you, really quick, because we didn't expect the uptake that we had straight away, which was understandable. We thought, we'll be really quiet for quite a while, and it'll just slowly build. And it hit the ground running quite quick.
It hit the ground a lot quicker than we were prepared for.
Yeah. So, I mean, the first ever match we put on, we look back at that now, and in hindsight, it was an absolute
train wreck.
It was dreadful. But you look where we are now, and it's obviously a massive, massive difference. But that's not just down to our hard work. I know it sounds really, really cheesy, but we can't actually do it without the shooters.
Yeah.
So them appreciating it, it's actually because of them we do what we do. So it's like full 360 circle for us. And without the shooters coming on board, we don't have the opportunity to speak to sponsors. And last year we had incredible support from sponsors as well, which I know it sounds strange, but when you've got people like MDT, Hornady, Arc Ballistics, Highland Outdoors, and then obviously our main series sponsor Zeiss, and companies like that involved, it elevates the whole lot. So it makes everything seem like the complete package, really. So yeah, it went from 0 to 100 very fast, and we're definitely not peaked yet, but yeah, the 2022 series was I'd say a very, very, very big success. I mean, we took 5 shooters to the States, 2 of those self-funded, but we took 5 shooters to the States and had an absolute blast. I think that's pretty much a success in our books, you know.
Yeah, and if you remember, I was on my way to India with my day job, and I saw you in Heathrow Terminal 5. I was like, "You there?
You did, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, we're all running late because who was it that was? I can't think who we were waiting for now.
I think it was Trez.
I think Trez.
Was it me when I was having a fanny around moving my ammunition around?
No. This is like
with the Irish lads.
We were the last lot on the plane. Literally the last lot on the plane. Final call. I'm like, what's going on? How has this happened? Because I
was the last person on the plane.
Yeah.
I know I was the last one because everyone was running. I thought, I'm not running. I'm not running.
And I'm a real stickler for being on time. These boys hate it because I'm like, we will be there an hour early.
We will be there 3 weeks early.
And we were the last people on the plane. But yeah, we saw you. I was like, hang on, that's Christian. What's going on?
Yeah. I was like, all right, lads. And my boss, and after you like waved back and that, my boss was sat next to me. He was like, "Who's that then?" And I was explaining to him, and I was like, "I'll tell you what, I wish I was on their plane and not our plane."
Yeah,
it was a good trip. Very good trip.
It was a good trip. But the 2022 series was impressive. It was bloody hard work. It was weird because I actually got a little bit emotional at the finale in the last game, when I was sort of going through it all, and the awards and the prizes and the first, second, and third, because it was just like a massive weight of like, boom, we've done it. First series is out of the way. That's it, and so you could just chill out a bit. But yeah, it was a hell of a series. It really was.
There's a lot of highs.
Just those bloody Irish lads keep on coming over and winning.
There's a lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of stress.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of them things where a lot of the people, there's not many people in the UK. You can count on, you know, both your hands who's put a match on like this in the UK, and the shooters come along and they see the bits that we allow you to see, if that makes sense, without trying to sound like we're trying to hide anything. But the bits that we allow you to see, it looks all fine and dandy, it looks a breeze, but when you actually sit down and you get into the ins and outs of exactly what it takes to run a 2-day match, whether that be really mundane things like I don't know, making sure that the tablets are charged, making sure that they're all synced with practice score, making sure all the shooters are on there. That's just one tiny percentage of, you know, what we have to do. But then there's all the other things that go back and forth and stuff like that. And we've prodded a dead horse enough times saying about how hard it is. And it's nice at the end of each match that when the shooters are finished and they're all all the adrenaline's calmed down a bit, and they come over and they say, "Oh, well done, lads, you've done really well." And that's what makes it all worth it for us. And when like Andy said, when you are in that low, and we hit a pretty hard low at the start of the season, you know, all 3 of us was almost to the point of jacking it in because it was taking up so much time. But yeah, it was nice we managed to get over that bridge, and we got on the home stretch then, and we started, you know, we enjoy it again now. I don't know what it's going to be like for this year, because by the looks of things, there's going to be more people, which means, you know, obviously a little bit more management and dedication on what we're doing, like on the intricacies and stuff. But yeah, we're looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, but mate, you've got a recipe for success now. I feel. I think you've had 2 years to bed in. you've got a lot of support behind you, and obviously, but with that level of support, obviously comes a lot of responsibility towards those companies. But you've got that experience behind you now. You've got the shooters backing you. You really are now set up for success, and you should have the wind beneath your wings, really.
It's the shooters you don't want to let down, isn't it? That's what I know. I pride myself on that. It's like target failure, you go down. I'm not fit and I'm dying when I run out, change it, run back, lay on the floor, get my breath back. But at the end of the day, they're paying the money. They're there because they want to be there.
Yeah. One of the big turning points for us is when we just decided, you know what? Is this a family show, Christian?
Oh, you can swear. Alex White set the precedent that a little bit of foul language. We can't turn it X-rated, but a little. Okay.
The turning point for us was like we went, fuck it, we're shooting the matches ourselves as well. That's it.
Yeah.
And we actually were able to enjoy it because we took a decision that, one, it's safe enough. Two, the firing point is small enough for us to all be within earshot of each other.
Yeah.
Three, one of us goes in a squad, so we've got across 3 squads. There's at least one of us in it. 4 pro shoot staff and ROs are mint. So why can't we enjoy it? You know. Yeah. So those things, well, that's great. We're going to shoot them ourselves now, and that was definitely a turning point for us. But the amount of people that came up to us and said, "Oh, you're shooting. That's really good." I remember Joe Pass coming up to us and he says, "Mate, I'm so happy you're shooting now." He says, "You guys deserve to be doing it."
It was painful. Like painful. It was painful. It was like you put on weeks of work putting a match on. You do the day prep before. And you do everything, and then it just sit there and run plain sailing. And you stood there like,
I'm bored now.
Now what I'm gonna do? I've got 2 days of sitting here watching everybody else have fun, and I'm like not pulling the trigger.
It was cool though. It was good. And as I said, at the end of it, we got to take our top 3 to the States plus 4th and 5th, and that was like the trip of a lifetime. That's like forever up here now. That is. I've even got the picture of us. All 9 of us is my desktop screensaver on this computer here right now. I've got it printed up on a poster in my loading room as well. It was absolutely mint.
It was a trip of a lifetime.
We
captured a South African.
we
stole one.
we kidnapped a South African. So Hanu joined our group. So there's 9 of us.
He was absolutely brilliant.
It was mega.
We crammed him in some small glove box compartment of a minivan and filled guns and suitcases around him and fed him every now and again.
Yeah,
that was it.
There was 14 of us, Christian. I'll send you a picture to be able to so you can see what was going on. 9 of us. 9 of us in a 14-seater Ford Transit van, plus all of our rifles and the suitcases
and the rucksacks, tripods.
It was absolutely unreal. It was like clowns getting out at the end of it.
We had who was it when we pulled up on the first day? When we turned up at K&N, and we got there relatively early, and there weren't an awful lot of people there. We pulled up, and it's beautiful driveways and everything. So I mean, it's like turning up at at Augusta National. That's exactly what it was like.
Resort, yeah.
And we've pulled up on the grass anyway, and we all literally I remember I was sitting in the bench seat behind the driver, and Josh Martin was to my right, and he's leaning over and he's opened up the sliding door, and like a suitcase fell out on the floor, and and then we were all diving out, all out of all these different orifices, climbing over different bits and pieces and stuff. And Austin Orgain was walking behind us, and he's stopped and he's just staring at us. He's going why didn't you just get 2 buses? we didn't think we was going to have a South African that we'd stole. We had 3 suitcases, by the way, because he stayed in the States for about 3 weeks. So
about 3 weeks.
So that was all the extra space that we'd lost. It was him. He had a rifle case with no rifle in it and all sorts.
But It was worth it though, because we went over there. Rory took some scalps, Dan took some scalps, Josh took some scalps. Tom Rice smashed it on the skills stage, 7th overall.
Yeah, that was impressive. Very impressive.
That's
He's got a big target on his back this year, though.
Yeah.
Pressure's on.
Joe Paskin killed it. Everybody just went over there and made a mark.
I didn't.
I just took photos.
James took photos. I didn't come last, so I was happy.
Neither did I. So yeah.
So, and with the bloody pressure issues I had on day one, I'm surprised I didn't come last. To be honest with you.
All I'm saying is every round I shot impacted, so I'm still clean at K&M.
Yeah, when there was no rain and no
winds.
For the
training day.
But no, I mean, that whole finale situation, like the whole thing was just, I think it was mind blowing for a lot of us. When we all got onto the stage, who was first shooter up? Was it Dan? Out of us, lot.
Out of us, I can't remember.
Yeah,
I cannot remember.
Dan. I think it was Dan.
Funny feeling it was Dan.
But it's fast. It is fast over there, but it took us probably a couple of stages to get used to the system over there. So you're like, there's somebody ready to go, there's somebody on deck, there's somebody in the hole, there's somebody in the deep hole, there's somebody spotting, everything's just constant, 100 miles an hour.
These words and these terms, we didn't know what on earth they were saying. And we just kind of like, when you see people looking like they know what they're doing, that was just us just trying to we was winging it for 2 stages, and then we managed to get into it. So the system that they do is it's basically so that the second the shooter is finished shooting his stage, the second the RO is making sure the chamber flag goes in his rifle, then it's up to the shooter that's coming off to move his rifle away from the stage, and then the other guys come in and get the brass, which is exactly the same as what you have here, or you should do. But what you have somebody on deck and you have somebody on the hole. So somebody on deck is literally, they are standing there with their rifle ready, gear in hand, before the shooter has finished his stage. So they're on deck. And then the same thing is happening with the shooter in the hole. So you've always got 2 people ready to shoot at any one time. And the way that they can get 20 stages.
I just want to just jump in.
Let me finish. The way that they get 20 people, 20 stages with 13 people, 12, 13 man squads done for 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 10 stages a day, it's unreal. But if you don't have that efficiency, you just don't get it done. But they've been doing it for years and years and years now, and all these shooters, especially at the finale, they are high level competitors, aren't they? So they are the top. What is it, 100 shooters in the US, and the rest are made up from everywhere else.
Yeah, top 100. I think it's top 150 plus international plus
150. Yeah.
Just to jump on what Trez was just saying then. The first stage, so the first person I just looked was Josh Martin. Josh shot first. And I was like, right, I'm not shooting, I'll pick up brass. By the time I'd picked up the 4 in the back of the truck, walked to go to the front of the truck, the next shooter was already going. That was it. You couldn't pick up the next 4 because the next shooter was already
it was fast.
So you needed 2 people. You needed 2 people to pick brass up to get them out of the way quick enough.
Yeah. But after a couple of stages, we were well in.
We soon got into the groove of it, and it was. I think we did. Was it the first day? We did 12 stages the first day.
I think we did.
We did 2 more.
Yeah, 12.
Wow. And we were still done for 3 o'clock.
And you don't feel rushed.
No.
It's strange. But obviously, there are bigger man squads, but you don't necessarily feel rushed. So, it's certainly something that we're going to try and adopt and adapt and make it mould and fit for what we have over here. Because I'd like to be away for 3 o'clock. I know all the shooters would. So
what you're describing to me here is just a really well-oiled, practiced machine. It's like, they've been doing it for donkey's years. The shooters are used to it. The shooters move themselves. I mean, if you think about a lot of our matches here in the UK, you've always got squads that have got inexperienced people in them, and a lot of what you're dealing with at matches is trying to educate those new shooters about stage etiquette and stage admin.
Yeah.
Getting it through.
Yeah.
The big eye opener on the Sunday was, I think we rolled up at about quarter past six.
Half six.
We opened the door and all you could hear was boom, boom. Yeah. People were already zeroing. Just checking zero. 7 o'clock, first rounds down range in competition.
Yeah,
it was like,
it was nuts.
Wow, this is go time.
But it's well-oiled machine, does everything well. Definitely. So, and you by the time you sort of realised what was going on, you didn't feel rushed, and you just got in the zone and cracked on. But yeah, that was, as I said, that was a hell of a trip for all of us, and we're looking forward to this year's finale. We're off to Kansas this year, which is going to be mega. So we'll be taking our top 3 again to Kansas. And we'll go over there and we'll see if we can take some scalps again, which would be nice.
So let's talk about the season ahead in a moment.
Yeah.
Let's just cover off a couple of things, because I'll tell you what, everything that you were talking about there, there's probably like 4 podcasts worth of things
there is loads of stuff
that we could delve into.
Yeah.
I think one thing though that really struck me as you guys were talking there was I guess the parallels with the journey that the GBPRA went through as well. We sort of got off the ground at about the same time.
Yeah.
We were all finding our feet at the same time, running our own individual series. You guys culminated your first couple of years with that finale over in the States. That was your big reward.
Yeah,
that was the goal you were aiming for, and that was your reward when you got there at the end of the season. And then for the GBPRA, it was getting the qualification event done, putting the Great Britain team together, and sending them out to France to compete at the World Championships.
Yeah,
I think so. There's parallels, and listening to your talk, I'm like, yeah, I know what you're on about there. I've felt some of those emotions, and I've been in some of those situations myself. Now, what I'm really excited about now is the fact that our GBPRA journey and your Precision Rifle Series UK journey, those 2 journeys now have come together, in some regard, and going forward, we're now on a very, very similar path. I mean, it's the same path in terms of our desire for precision rifle shooting in the UK. I feel like we're aligned on that. We want more people involved. We want quality competition. We want sponsors that are bringing investment into the sport, because that will make it better for the shooters. I think we're all aligned on that, and after the same journey. We'll obviously have our eye very much firmly on world championships and international competition between countries. You guys very much focused on, your Precision Rifle Series finale. But the fact that we can go on those journeys together and supporting each other's associations and series through the agreement that we've entered into, for me is just fantastic, and I think it's good for the shooters in the UK. So I don't know what you guys think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was always. Do you know what? I'll let Trez take this, because Trez was quite serious about this from the beginning. As soon as there was a talk of a world championships and bits and pieces, Trez was like a dog with 2 dicks running around about it, all excited.
I was really happy, because I don't know, maybe it's just the way that my mind works. I'm a big picture person. I don't necessarily see the wood through the trees. I can see something beyond the forest. Do you know what I mean? But I seen it as, if this IPRF thing kicked off, because I'm sure there was times when it come out and it wobbled and then it got back on the straight and now, and it wobbled, and is it going to happen, is it not, and venues were being moved, etc., etc. And I was in the background willing it to happen. And then when the the GBPRA was obviously announced that there's going to be a GB team and all the rest of it, it was like, yes, this is exactly what this sport needs in the UK. It's all well and good putting on amazing matches that cater to a niche group of shooters in the UK. That's fine, but it's never going to grow exponentially unless there's something else, and that something else was that World Championships. And it's like all right, the finale in the United States, it's the biggest match that happens annually, but unless you have a Precision Rifle Series franchise in that nation, well, you don't get to go to you don't get to go there, which is one of the reasons why we never started up our own just British thing. We actually approached the PRS so that we could have something like that. And then, well, obviously, prior to obviously PRS UK being announced, there was no such thing as the GBPRA. The IPRF idea was floating around. I'm pretty sure it was, but we didn't. But nothing was off the ground in the UK. So we was like, well, let's let these shooters compete at the highest level. And the way that we thought we could do it was by doing it at the finale out there. And then obviously this happened, and we was like, yes, this is exactly what this sport needs. And it was by the looks of things, it done amazing. I remember I was away with the missus in the in the Lake District, just me and her, trying to have a time away from the kids, and I couldn't stop looking at my phone, checking the scores, and my missus, we'll be sitting in a nice bar like Windermere, and she's like, "Why are you looking at your phone for?" I was like, the lads are doing really well. Just hold on.
Wasn't it the KGM Cup just recently that adopted the same live scoring, and that's obviously another major event over in the States, KGM Cup, and they adopted the live score.
Not sure.
It was the AG Cup.
Oh, the AG Cup. Yes, they did.
Apologies.
Yes. Yeah. AG Cup. Yeah, they did.
I'm getting me A's and G's and K's and M's all mixed up here. But no, you're right, mate. And I think right now in the UK, for those people that take the sport very, very seriously and are very, very competitive, aren't they spoilt? It's like the opportunity every year to go to a Precision Rifle Series finale in the States. Mm-hmm. Then every other year, every year if you shoot rimfire, but every other year to go to a centerfire World Championships and compete for your country in South Africa next. It was France to begin with, South Africa next. It might end up in the States in a few years after that. It's just I think people are very spoiled.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's be honest. It's everybody's dream to represent the country, isn't it?
Yeah.
In something. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So guys, I'm going to move on, but just quickly, 2022. Do you want to just talk us through who your people were, who the shooters were on your leaderboards, a little bit about how the season developed and how it ended? And you've also obviously talked about the trip over to the States, but talk to us a little bit about how you got the guys there and who went.
We were running in the end 5 matches. It was always tight at the top, weren't it? We always had Joe Pask, Rory and Dan, and Josh Martin were always lingering around the top. Ryan Charlton was always hovering up there as well. He unfortunately did his hand into it to miss a match, I think, and some other bits and pieces.
That hampered him a bit in France as well. He got that injury in France,
So there was people hovering around the top. Well, I think deep down we kind of knew it was always going to be Rory, Dan, and Joe in the top 3. We were just like, nobody's catching them.
I don't know. I still think Josh was always every match. I thought he was going to be taking. He was always at Joe's heels all the way throughout the season.
But that's half the fun of it, isn't it? You see the competitive, isn't it? But it's the whole series overall. It was very consistent. All the matches ran well. We've got to really have to thank Pro Shoot for accommodating what we did there, because we went in there effectively a brand new discipline to them. They didn't have a clue. They found it really weird that we were shooting 12-inch discs at 600 meters. Are you really going to hit that? Well, yeah. They found it really strange.
You're not on your belly.
Yeah. You're not on your belly. I found it really strange. They've been mega accommodating and did as much as they could to help us to make sure that it ran really well. But you got to give special mention to a few people, like Tom Rice smashed it. Then you got newer shooters which came in and with minimal experience, like Ben Wood. I guarantee that kid is top 5 next year. Easy.
Yeah, he looks good, doesn't he? Yeah, he looks like a real prospect.
He's so good. Yeah. Then you've got other shooters like James Sewell is always hovering about and sort of wanting to jump up in there. So you've got a lot of names in there which are all hovering and getting better and better. There are a lot of them attending training and practicing a lot. And it was a very consistent series, but up until the finale, it was close. But that finale there was some real competitiveness in that.
There was some really bad maths at the end of it as well.
We won't go over that.
All right, okay. I remember an incident in a bathtub.
Yes.
I do have actually a video recording of that. I don't know whether I should splice it into this video on YouTube.
That bathtub stage was not my finest moment.
That was the best creation I've ever thought of.
Yeah, a 6'5" gorilla-sized bloke does not fit in a bathtub with a precision rifle, and it does not go well. But yeah, the whole lot was just it was out of this world good. We've got to thank the shooters. We've got to thank the sponsors because they literally make it possible for us to actually do stuff. And yeah, it's going to be.
And Andy, you said earlier in the podcast that you got a bit emotional on the day, and I was privileged to be there to witness that final day of the final, the final match of the final season, and I could see the emotion on all your guys' faces, and and you had the representative there from Zeiss, a fantastic prize table, you were handing out awards to shooters. Luca came and my son came and had a little go, and we were very generous in giving him something off the prize table, which I thought was absolutely fantastic, even though I've pinched the Ridgeline hoodie off him and I wear it when I go out now. So anyway, I won't mention that too much. But just and what I found really fascinating as well there was not just the emotion of you guys having delivered that and like that sigh of we're done, we've done it, that because that came across really clear, but everybody who was there, everybody just seemed so invested in it and so emotional about it, and that was you could feel it in the air. You could feel the emotion from everybody who was there. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic to be a part of.
Biggest match, biggest precision rifle match turnout for an official series for a long time as well. So it was one hell of a series, and we're looking forward to doing it in 23 because we've got some mega stuff for 23.
We were all ready for the break at the end of the finale. Everyone was like, no more designing matches, no more stages, no nothing. And now it's like, when we're getting back into it, because I'm ready now. It's like,
ready now.
Now we're ready for it.
Yeah.
Right. I'll tell you what then. Let's stop talking about the past. Let's start talking about the future. So, when's your first match?
First match is February 25th and 26th of obviously end of next month. So we're at the end of Jan now. Yeah. 2-day match again at Pro Shoot. It is the Hornady Challenge. Hornady are the title sponsors on that match, so that's Hornady and Edgar Brothers.
Yeah.
And
can I just say Edgar Brothers, right? While we're talking about feel good factor in the sport at the moment, but we should also highlight sponsors as well. I feel
absolutely, yeah.
Because they sort of help us do what we do, and Edgar Brothers and Hornady. They've helped the GBPRA, they've helped C2 Precision, they're helping you guys. I mean that's support across the sport. Doesn't matter what association it is or what series. That's some significant support, and that has been a real feature of the past couple of years, that industry help to the sport and to the shooters.
Yeah, absolutely. I could probably sit here and reel off absolutely every single sponsor, but it might take a couple of minutes. But yeah, while we're on the subject of Aker Brothers and Hornady, they title sponsored one of the matches last season, and I think that gave them an idea of what we're about. We have a shooter, sort of like a shooter organizer relationship with Benny Mack, anyway, and he obviously now works with Aker Brothers in business development, but he's very much obviously very passionate about the sport himself. You know how passionate he is. He was on the last podcast. You wait till you see the prize table in February. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Commitment from them, but not just Aker Brothers. The commitment from them and the other brands and businesses that we've got for 2023 is out of this world good, and it just shows. I'm going to sound quite big-headed. It shows how good a job we're doing because they're committed to what we're doing. So, but as I said, we can't do it without them as well. But yeah, looking forward, it's going to be that first match is going to be pretty mega, pretty mega. It's going to be good, and it's an IPRF qualifier. So
it is. It's an IPRF qualifier for South Africa, which will be the second ever World Championships of Precision Rifle coming in 2024. That qualification, just for our listeners, that qualification season will be running throughout 2023. It will include the entire match calendar for Precision Rifle Series UK, also the matches of C2 Precision down at Bisley. We, I won't say too much right now because we're just crossing the T's and dotting the I's, but we've got our first date for our Big Sis match, which will be at Gardener's Guns up in Scotland, which will also be a qualification match. And then there's plans for the GBPRA to run a couple of 2 or 3 matches this year as well as qualifiers. So the good news is for anybody who is first of all, who is just a precision rifle shooter, regardless of whether you're a GBPRA member or a Precision Rifle Series UK member or not, so many matches that you can go and shoot on the calendar this year, covering Scotland, coming down into Wales, all the way over down to the southeast at Bisley. That was something that we were keen to do to make sure precision rifle venues were covering all of the UK. I feel like we're in the strongest position we've ever been in terms of venues for precision rifle matches. But yeah, we're here to talk about Precision Rifle Series UK though. So that's the first match. It will be an IPRF qualifier. For your score at that match to count as a qualification score on the GBPRA national leaderboard and count towards your qualification push for South Africa 2024, need to be a GBPRA member. I'll just say visit www.gbpra.co.uk for more details. I'll let you guys plug your website in later on as well. But yeah, that's where people need to go if they're interested in qualifying for Team Great Britain that will travel out to South Africa. But mate, so first qualification match of PRS UK and also your first match of your season of this year. How many matches on the calendar this year?
We've got 6 on the calendar. So we've got one in February, so end of Feb, beginning of April, 8th and 9th. All the matches are on the website, Precision Rifle Series UK.com. To go to the matches page, are all on there. 10th, 11th of June, 5th and 6th of August, we're confirming a venue for that. And then you've got one in September, then you've got our finale in as well, which is the beginning of October. So we've got 6 matches. It's a nice staggered calendar because we worked with you guys to make sure that we didn't flood a calendar, because otherwise, as much as it's nice to have choice as a shooter, sometimes you end up having to cherry pick what you want to do because things are clashing and it just gets a bit messy. So yeah, 6 matches from February through to October. It's pretty much alternating months as well. But we do have Monday sniper training in April as well, which we'll talk about a bit later. But yeah, it's a busy calendar for us.
Yeah, but it's great news for the shooters, and I'd just like to say to all of our listeners out there and our watchers on YouTube, the GBPRA and the PRS UK, those guys, we've wanted to get together as two Precision Rifle Series associations, whatever, for a long time now. But we had to go through a lot of discussions about what that would look like and how that would work and when would be the right time to do that. And one of the things that Andy and the guys, Trez and James, were very, very keen on right from the beginning was that relationship had to be to the total benefit of all you shooters out there. Mm-hmm. It was like a red line. It was like, if this is not to the benefit of precision rifle shooters in the UK, we shouldn't do it. And one of those things that was discussed at length was making sure that we had an aligned calendar of events so that we didn't have matches and training events and other things tripping over each other. So, hopefully, guys, if you're listening, just want to impress on you that a lot of thought went into this collaboration between the two parties, and we're absolutely committed to making sure that we do the right thing for precision rifle shooting in the UK going forward.
Yeah,
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I've sort of brought the mood down a little bit. We're all like, yeah, we went over to America and there was brass place and there was going on, and now I'm like, yeah, and we're going to be all serious about match calendars. Okay, so that's your first match of 2023.
Yep.
Sounds like you've got some exciting things planned. Anything you can share for that match, or are you just going to keep it under wraps and surprise everybody when they turn up?
I mean, we can talk about what's new and what's potentially new. Obviously, we're not going to talk about stages or anything like that. But me and James was up at Pro Shoot last weekend in our work gear, digging holes, laying foundations.
Right.
Well, I say foundations, but putting postcrete in the ground so that we can have a nice, stable PRS barricade. Because
wobbly GBPRA barricades, I hope.
No, it's no, they weren't that bad. They weren't that bad. No, this one's a welded, cemented in. It's a proper barricade now. Yeah.
Just quickly, can I just say, if anybody ever hears anything about wobbly GBPRA barricades, and it's usually Ryan Charlton who's talking about them, I'll just
shock.
I'll just point out that anything that was wobbly was me. Anything that wasn't wobbly will have been the Deans of the world, the Mike Underwoods of the world, and all those guys, the Andy Cudworths of the world, who very kindly made barricades at home and brought them to GBPRA precision rifle matches. So we'll just make that clear. So guys, your barricades are fantastic. None of the criticism is directed at you guys; it's all at me.
You was just giving Ryan and Pasky a chance to use their tripod rears. That's all.
That's it, mate. That's it. You see, yeah, we just wanted to stretch their skills and test them.
You can just slow them down by deploying tripod on the clock.
Yeah, see, ask them if we can deploy a tripod on the clock. They'll enjoy that conversation.
It's a little internal joke that we have with myself and Ryan and Joe.
If Trez isn't getting ribbed about his bad calculations in the finale, he's getting ribbed about tripod rear, basically. one of the two.
Trez, sorry, mate, I cut across you there. So you've been digging foundations, making sure that we don't have any wobbly barricades, which is
well, not on all of them. Obviously, it's incredibly difficult to be able to have rock solid cemented in props on that range because, it's still a range under development, so they can't change too much until a lot of processes have been happened and gone through and stuff. But we was really fortunate enough to have an amazing guy, metal worker, high quality stuff, build us a standard PRS barricade out of tubular steel. It's all welded, it's powder coated, it's got the PRS logo on it. It's amazing. And it was sat there for about 3 matches because we didn't want to put it up and it not be perfect.
Yeah.
So we went up there and we dug some postcrete in. 120 kilo of postcrete's gone into the bottom of that, so it ain't moving anywhere.
But don't you guys have always prided yourselves on the effort that you put in to make sure with the props, the stages, well designed, well manufactured, well put together. You know, and you just look at the quality of your matchbook that you provide to all the shooters when you turn up. You know, you guys, you really take pride in putting on a very delivering a quality product and a slick show.
I think it's go hard or go home. As simple as that. Really.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I think we're quite lucky that for a day job, I'm in web software design, and I was in marketing for a long time. James is a grunt man for a living. He does a lot of heavy lifting. He knows how to build stuff. Trez works on the railway engineer. He's very technical. He knows his stuff. It's kind of like the perfect storm between us. Yeah. So when all of us actually get together and do stuff, that we take pride in what we do.
Shit gets done.
Yeah, shit gets done, basically.
Yeah.
that's
I just want to touch on to the 2 sponsors that we had for that PRS barricade, because you know, the guy that built it, unfortunately I've never had the chance to meet him. Andy and James know more about him than me, but there's obviously ARC as well, which Andy you can explain about after James has maybe explained about how
jump in, because I'm bound to mess up.
it's so the chap who built the skill stage for us is a chap called Hal Cooper, runs TJC Agricultural. They're based in Leicester. They do loads of stuff from cattle control to big like agricultural gates, all that sort of stuff. Like anything equine, the stuff they do is unreal. But they made us a few things. They've done us a cactus. We've got a cactus.
Yeah, I've seen that.
We've got the skills stage, obviously. That's the sort of stuff that we wouldn't be able to do what we do without stuff from people like Hal, basically.
My favourite practice prop is a 5-bar gate down the down the farm, so I can relate. Yeah, that sounds good.
But yeah, we're exciting for the ones who want to run million miles an hour on the skill stage. We've got Chris Reed. I've got quite friendly with Chris actually over the past months. He runs Arc Ballistics. They make some incredible kit. My 6 Dasher Reamer is made by him, and they do trimmers.
Yeah, he uses trimmers.
Mandrels. There's loads of new stuff coming out, and he's a real top guy, and he's actually basically the skill stage sponsor for this series as well. So whoever gets the fastest time on that skill stage gets the prize for that one, which he'll be putting
nice.
On so.
Nice. Well, I like to say that'll perk up the competition against Tom, then, won't it? Bloody hell.
Yeah, I know. Loz likes to go fast on that. Lawrence Barnes likes to try and go fast on that. Josh is very quick as well.
I'm gonna have a good go with it.
Ben Wood apparently did it in 33.68 possibly. He said he did it in a clean, but I found out he actually dropped one. So he's
really? Right.
Yeah, naughty. Don't bullshit me now, Ben, because I will find out. Mr. Match Director will find out. So there's going to be some competition. Ryan Charlton's fast on that as well. It's going to be
Jack
Crawford. Jack's motto is shoot fast, miss hard. I think it was something like that.
Shoot fast, miss fast.
That's it. Shoot fast, miss fast. I think it is. So Jack will be in it, but that's gonna be some mega fun on that this year.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Guys, look, I'm going to move you on a little bit now. I'm just mindful of time, and I fancy going and grabbing a cigar. So, look. You know, we've touched on the fact, and I think it's apparent to all of our listeners that you're committed to putting on a quality match. That commitment is there; it's clear for all to see. But it's not for you guys. It's not just about the matches that you run. You're also interested in making sure that the standards of competition and the competence of shooters is raised in the UK as well. I mean, it was highlighted to me in France when I went to the World Championships that the UK and other, European nations and world nations, they're not too far behind the Americans, but there's a definite gap.
Yeah.
And you guys actually want to try and, in your own way, close that gap a little bit. And, I think we should talk a little bit about the investment that you guys are making in training opportunities for the UK. Do you want to just talk a little bit about what's coming up on that front?
Yeah, well, we do a couple of training days ourselves, which we try to make budget friendly. So people can come along to do that, do a training day and like a little mini match and stuff. But the biggest thing we've got going on, which is it's not common news now, but it's known news, is that we've got Phil and Kaylin from Modern Day Sniper coming over. They're over in April, so a couple of months' time. They are here from the 15th to the 20, no, longer than that. 15th to the something, I can't remember. 27. Yeah, that's it. So they have the 12 days. And they're coming over to teach 4 different classes. But it's very important to highlight the pedigree that Phil and Kaylin have. They are like, you don't get any better.
They are like precision rifle royalty.
Yes.
From as long as I can remember, before I'd ever shot my first precision rifle match, I was watching Phil Vallejo's videos and, him talking about how to be a good marksman, how to approach a match. And his collaboration with Kaylin has just taken that to a whole new level. And it doesn't matter where you turn, if somebody's talking about training for marksmanship and precision rifle, they will always come up in that conversation as one of the premier training outfits. And they don't just do that, and they don't just deliver. I'm doing this for you here. They don't just. But I'm excited about it. They don't just deliver. They don't just deliver that, on range, classroom and practical coaching support and what have you on location, which is what you guys are going to talk to everybody about in a moment. But they've also got that whole package of online learning, engagement through social media. A lot of what they do is free of charge. It's just that complete package. And to think that's coming to the UK, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's a huge prospect for us. But I think it is very, very important to highlight this will not happen again. Not for a long time. Because as much as we've got a lot of shooters in the UK, trying to fill a class with 16 students in each course, it's not been incredibly difficult, but it's been a challenge because we understand people will go, oh, that's a fair bit of money or whatever. So we know that it's the select pool that are going to jump on that course. So like the 101 course, there's only 2 spots left on that now. I know for a fact, and we had an email earlier on about another chap who wants it. It's possibly only 1 left. The win clinic and positional clinics, they're, I think, less than a handful of spots left on that. Advanced, I think there's very little left on that. So they're filling up, but getting them to come across, we had to delay it because the pound crashed through the bloody floor, and it ended up being that it would have cost us money to put the courses on. So like, no, we're going to have to hold that for a minute. So
you don't want to pass that on to people, because
the price is the price, and we're not making anything out of it. It's basically conversion. That's the cost, and that's it. It pays for the digs, pays for this, and that's it. But they're coming over to teach 4 classes. You've got a Precision Rifle 101, which is a 4-day course, which costs £1,250. Okay, that's like, what's that, £312? Well, less than that a day. You can go up and spend serious money in line of field and shoot that with some instructors. But if you've got Phil and Kaylin here, we're going to give you full instructional classes across 4 days. You've then got a 2-day win clinic, a 2-day positional clinic, and a 3-day advanced course. And I know that this will spark some interest. I know that pretty much all the top shooters in the UK are all booked onto that course. So they're going to get even better. So if you want to be able to catch them, you're going to have to jump on that course, chaps.
And mate, that's why I made reference about raising that standard of national shooting, to start competing with the Americans. And I'm pleased to hear that. But that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely mega, but I do fear that we won't get the opportunity again. It may happen again. We don't know, but right now we want to get this done, show people how invested we are in the shooters as well, by sort of doing all the legwork and getting them across and getting people involved, and obviously they're going to be 4 incredible courses, and once they sell out, that's it. People aren't going to drop off. James is itching to say something here. What do you want to say, James?
It's 100 rounds per day per course.
Yeah.
Of being told what you're doing wrong, where you're doing it wrong by 2 of the best. I think they've got 40 years of sniper instruction and everything else behind them.
It's the sort of course, isn't it, James, where somebody might be looking at, I'm going to buy the latest range finding binoculars. Yeah. Guys, don't buy those latest range binoculars. They're not going to help you as much as spending that money on this course. It's as clear cut as that, guys. Worry about the kit later. Get yourself along to this course. Learn how to shoot. Or I'm being a bit disingenuous now. Learn how to shoot better. Yeah. And then in another year or two, go and buy those latest range finding binoculars. Somebody will lend you there anyway at a match.
I really want to emphasise this, how it sounds incredibly expensive. And I remember when we was negotiating with Phil and Kalen on the price for them to come over, and they sent over the prices, and me and Andy was on the call, and afterwards rang each other up, and I was like, that's expensive. And I was like, and then we thought about it, and I was like, well, okay, let's think about like the matches. If you go and do a course with Phil and Kyla, you're going to pick up far more points for your match than you would do, like you say, buying a new scope or buying the latest and greatest sizing dial, seater dial, a Neely machine or whatever. And it all started to come about. I was like, well, it actually is quite good value. They've got to charge enough to be able to make it viable for them. Obviously, it's massive expenses for them because they've got to fly to the UK and all that comes with that. And like I said, we haven't relayed any price. We haven't put any prices on top of that. All the prices that was there are so that it covers the cost of the range hire. It costs for Phil and Kalen to be able to be there. So don't balk at the price of it too much. It is definitely going to get you 5 or 6 points over a weekend, and 5 or 6 points at some of our matches. That could be the difference between being in 10th and being in 5th or 6th. So if you want
any cost that doubles my score, I'm well in there. 5 points, I'll be like, double score, thank you.
Even closer than that, Trez.
Well, yeah, exactly. So if you can pick up just a couple of extra things, this is how good value it is. So please don't just hold back on them binos. They're going to be there in 12 months' time. Phil and Kalen are not going to be there in 12 months.
Let me ask you this question, Trez.
Yeah.
Where else in the UK can you find that comparable course? Not even at the same price. Where else can you find a comparable course in the UK?
For precision rifle, there is nothing.
For marksmanship, for marksmanship of that nature, doesn't exist.
You're gonna fly to Rifles Only, or you're gonna fly to K&M and spend the day with Shannon K, or a weekend with Shannon K, or whatever, or you're gonna fly to Twisted Barrel Precision and spend the weekend with BD. You're not going to get it in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, Andy, they're not, or Adam, they're not. I am going to leave that in at the beginning of the video. They're not going to be on these shores that often ever again. It's like, that's your once in a chance. That's once in a lifetime opportunity.
Unless precision rifle blows up in the UK, they ain't going to come back.
Yeah.
And if there's any international shooters that we'd be saying that there are internationals that are coming, because the likelihood of them coming to Europe again is incredibly low because of the take up that we've had here. So yeah, it's open to anyone and everybody that can get to the UK for those dates, providing you're not some Russian like arms dealer and
Stop getting
illegally can bring a rifle in the country and stuff. But it's
you can't go down that route.
No.
No, we can say bugger and a few other swear words. You can't talk about Russians. Sorry, it's a red line.
It's just go on, Trez. Sorry, carry on, mate.
But yeah, it's such a good thing, and especially those mid-pack shooters that sit in that area where me and James and Andy like to sit, and we never seem to get any better. If this might be the nut that gets cracked, and you might have that light bulb moment, and you might pick yourself up 5, 6, 7 points a match, and all of a sudden you're now in contention to be able to have paid for to go to the States to shoot with literally the top 150 shooters in the world.
But now everybody knows that they need to book onto the course. Where do they go to book on?
Head to the website, Precision Rifle Series -UK.com. In the top in the navigation, there's MDS classes, so modern day sniper classes. Go on there, select which course you're interested in. It'll fire me an email. You'll get a response from either me or Trez. James doesn't tend to get involved in that, but he's always on Facebook dealing with people. And we can get back to you. Just to tag on to the end of that. So Phil and Kaylin obviously are coming over for that, but their modern day sniper schoolhouse stuff is very, very good. And they're also actually changing things up to do a bit more of a rifleman journey sort of thing. So sort of starting off where you are, what's your goal and how to get there to that goal. Yeah. So we actually did a podcast with them a couple of weeks ago, which is due to come out this week. So if you want to hear more about that stuff, they touch on it a bit more in that, so you can have a listen to that one. Secondly, on modern day sniper training courses, we have within the last couple of days had confirmation from, again, Hornady and Edgar Brothers that they are supporting us with basically kit for it. We've got some people who are going to need to reload, so they're going to layer sort of riggers up with reloading kit, so pressers, dies, all the usual bits. They're going to help provide our international shooters with match ammo as well, because obviously they need to purchase that because you can't bring enough across from there. There'll be gazebos on range. They're gonna get involved, and so we've got to thank them again for that. I've got to give props to Ben and Tom at
Benny Mac.
Yeah.
He's always on them Hornady stand on the.
He's always there. They've given us a hell of a load of support on that. It's going to be, again, you've got to be there to experience it. I think you should come down for one of the days, Christian, and just hang about and see if you can absorb some tips. Come down as a GBPRA rep and spend the day with us, mate.
I'd love to, mate. What are the dates? Should we let everybody know what the dates are?
So dates for that, I will confirm for you now. So the first one, you will have the PRS 101, and that is on the 15th to the 18th of April, inclusive.
Okay. Cool.
Wind reading clinic is the 19th and 20th of April. Positional is 21st, 22nd. Then they have a day off. Advanced is 24th, 25th, 26th of April. So there's a gap between our matches where they will be over here doing all those bits. And if you go on the website, there's a little button that says click to see what you'll learn. Yeah. Just pop on that. It'll take you to their website and give you all the breakdown of all the stuff you need to learn. But just they've had, and I say this to everybody we speak to about these courses, they've had 20, 25 year serving snipers go on their 101 course and still come away with buckets and buckets of value. Yeah. Because they strip it back. They will get you there. You will strip your rifle with them. They will go through the ergonomics of your rifle, and they will work out every little thing to make sure that you are at one with that rifle before you're even pulling the trigger. That's literally what it's about, you know. And then right through to your advanced, where your advanced class is match prep, what you're doing before your stages, how you're prepping for this, what you're thinking about here, mindset, etc., etc., etc. And I mean, the win clinic is the win's the great equalizer, because win gives no fucks about what you think, you know. So
Don't care about your problems, as David Baker would say.
Exactly, the win doesn't give a shit about your problems. So that win clinic, I'm very surprised it's not completely sold out yet. It's getting there.
I was surprised with that. If I was to recommend any kind of person that's wants to get into it, and say, for instance, the intro precision rifle or the 101, whichever, if you say, for instance, that sells out, if we've only got one left, well, unfortunately, it's when it's hit 16, they will not train more than 16 people. That is their minimum, their maximum. I would be definitely trying to get on that positional, because that is what is going to, be your bread and butter coming to these type of matches, all PR matches. So the positional is going to be where you're going to pick up lots and lots of tips. But like Phil and Kaylan say on their podcast, and you'll hear it when they speak to us, the 4-day course, it's not just shooting off your belly. Please don't think it's 4 days on your belly, just ringing steel at a distance. It is, they will cover all bases, but they can go into far more depth, and they can do more fault finding and more adapting to you as a person individually. If you was to go on a positional course, they can really dive down into your kneeling, really dive down into your high kneeling, dive down into your somewhere in between prone and sitting, and all the awkward stuff. They can really go down into the wobble zone, and take individual moments and little tiny things that can really eke out these points that you might get at a match. And it also comes out to being able to hunt better as well, because if you can drop a bag on a fence post and smack a deer at 350 yards in the head because you don't want no meat damage, then well, everyone's a winner. Then you got another couple of kilos of meat sitting there. So it's open for hunters as well. You haven't got to just be into these competitions. This is for everybody that owns a rifle in the UK.
You're making 22 or 75. You're making me glow inside, because you just reminded me that I took a deer at the weekend. I was really pleased with myself. Anyway, but a couple of things there. So the good news is that it's 4 days. It's four modules, and they are modules. So if you're thinking, well, I can't afford to do it all, it's like, well, if wind is where you think you need to improve, wind reading and so on, go to the wind clinic. If it's positional shooting, go to the positional shooting class. If you need to just figure out, like, at a basic level, am I set up right? Yeah, go to 101. So it's fantastic that it's all laid out on that. And I like what you say about 16 is the maximum. 2 guys, 16 students, 8 apiece. Yeah, any more, the profiteering. Yeah, but keeping it to a nice level, that means that they understand that there is a limit on the amount of people amount of students they can have on the course before actually their capability to impart knowledge and support those students starts to fall off. And it sounds to me like they've set that at a good number of 8 per person. It's good. Good. Exactly that. It's going to be mega. We're looking forward to it.
I'm very much looking
James
forward
is
to
James is doing all the course.
I'm self-employed, so I don't get holidays. I was like, I'm taking 2 weeks off. I'm not missing this. I'm doing it.
Yeah, James is doing it.
So yeah.
It's gonna be mega. But that's some of the stuff we've got planned for this year, as well as a ridiculously packed series. Have you realised that for the past an hour and a half, we've been talking very much about Precision Rifle Series UK, shooting in the UK, shooting internationally. We've been talking effectively about other shooters. All right. So what about you guys? So what around the table, let's wrap it up. Around the table, what are your ambitions? What are your shooting goals for this year?
And yeah, let's start there, shall we? So I'm just going to start in the top left of my screen. So James, what are your shooting goals for this year, mate?
I want my trophy back.
He wants his
I want my trophy back, and I want to finish in the top 5, top 3, and at least one match this year.
Right. So one of your matches, you want to finish top 5, top 3, and who's got the trophy at the moment?
Trez.
Because you guys have got your own little PRS UK trophy, haven't you? That I think is it Ryan that.
Yeah, Ryan got it for us. Yeah.
Ryan sorted it again through Hal. Hal's come along, made it, and now we fight over it.
Yeah, because you guys put together your matches, you match direct into a certain degree, and what you guys realised was that you can't really join in the series as such. Yeah. So really, what you do is for the other shooters, but you shoot as yourselves. And you want to try and shoot, and you've beaten the GBPRA matches and other matches up and down the country, but you want to be able to shoot your own matches, but you don't want it to interfere with the series. So what you guys actually have is a little inter competition between the three of you, don't you? And I think at the moment, Andy, I'm sorry to say it, mate, but it's sort of James and Trez that are leading the way on that.
It is at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't got a notch on it yet. We've got little marks and different colours that mean different things and stuff like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this PRS UK trophy, and we're going to keep it going between the three of us. And as long as at least 2 of us at a match, it doesn't matter whether it's a GBPRA, a PRS, or a CIS, or a C2, or whatever. We've got different marks of different things, so at least that we all get an opportunity to be able to take it home and whatnot. So even if you don't come to one of our matches and you see us at another match, you'll see a trophy getting, hopefully, staying in the back of my truck forevermore.
Isn't it great though? You're not just like business partners. You're also competing against each other in a friendly way. You're mates. You know, and that's what I really love about this sport. It's like the friendships that you make, the camaraderie, and then, you know, even if you only see people a few times a year at the range, just for that one match or something, it's like we're all like-minded, aren't we? Yeah. We all share a passion, a love for something, and it does bring us together in a way that, you know, I'm sure it does for other people in other sports, whether it's ball or whatever it might be, but you know, precision rifle is what we've got and what we share, and that does bring us together. I really like it. But seeing you 3 guys together, it's like, yeah, something special. So I'm getting soppy now. So James, you want to be top 5, top 3 finish at one of the matches this year. You want to get the trophy back off Trez. Trez is the current holder, but who's holding the record of most wins?
Me.
Right. Okay. So James effectively is the most consistent shooter. Trez is just the one who's on the up at the moment.
I'm going with change rifle and give it away. I went to. I've always
but he didn't shoot the finale. So
yeah, that's why you've got the trophy, James. Not because I wasn't there to beat you, mate.
I've just pointed out how much you love each other. Now the last I want to generate is like a fall.
Changing a rifle, changing a cartridge. I went from 6BR to 6.5 Creedmoor, which has took a little bit more getting used to than what I was hoping. And it bit me on the last match.
The excuses are coming out now, right? All right, we'll move on. So, Trez, what are your goals for this year?
I haven't necessarily got any goals, as in where I want to finish in a competition, because I don't want to measure myself against anybody else. Obviously, we have the banter back and forth between us 3, but I've got a goal of being able to, one, I want to slow down more. I want to make less mental errors, and I think I'll make less mental errors by slowing down. Let's learn to shoot and then learn to shoot faster. And my goal for this series is I do the craft drill. Yeah. So for this year, I want to be consistently a craft number 2 under pressure from every single position. That's one thing, and I think that will then reflect in my scores in the matches. And the next thing I want to do is be able to shoot a 70% hit rate for all the rounds that I send, not the match score. I want a 70% for myself. So if I get 10 rounds off in a stage, I want to make sure that I'm hitting 70. Because at the moment, I'm averaging at about 55%. So I don't, I'm not going to be in a position to be challenging for matches this year. I know I won't be. I'm a realist in that. Unless somebody has a really bad day and somebody's gun blows up, and I might change someone's scope turrets or something along those lines. So watch out, guys, because I might try it. But yeah, them are my goals. I'll just have my own personal goals and whooping these two every time I shoot against them, to be honest.
Well done, mate. Well done. Andy, go on, mate.
I'm on a bit of a mindset journey this year, to be honest with you. I've got new rifle effectively because I've only actually shot it at one proper match. So I've got a new cartridge, got a new stock coming, chassis. But mine's on mindset. Trez hates me on range. He thinks I'm a knobhead on range because I'm like angry if I screw up on a stage. That's it. My whole game's out the window. That's it. The whole match is out. So mine's more of a mindset, coaching, just concentrating on calm, progressive, happy shooting. That's literally all I'm doing this series. I don't care if I come last. The idea is that if I do what I need to do mentally, then I'll smash the shit out of these two anyway. So because that's technically where it should come from. So I'm just woosah, enjoy my shooting, take each stage as it is. And just enjoy sending it down range. Basically, that's me this series, and just look forward to Kansas at the end of the year because that's what it's all about. You know, getting there. So,
do you know what, mate? I'm sort of myself personally. I'm probably like more aligned with where you are right now as well. I've got a rifle that I've been shooting for precision rifle and hunting with, that I've retired now for precision rifle. I need to get a new rifle set up. So I need to get that all squared away before I can even think about coming to a match. And then my biggest downfall when I get to a match is as soon as that clock goes, I panic. I am quite an excitable character anyway. My adrenaline gets going. But all intellect goes out my head, and I just like start reacting to the situation, and I'm always like missing very fast. So my goal is, once I've got my new rifle all squared away, which I haven't got yet, but once I've got it all in place, I want to make sure that I come off a stage, and I have not fired every single round that was permitted on that stage and not have hit something. I'll be very happy if I come on, I've been taking 2 shots out of 10, and hit those 2 shots. I'll be very happy with that. And then I'll build my speed and start build my adherence to the clock, because it is the clock. I get on a stage and I just start rushing. And I need to stop doing that. So, and it's a mental thing, just an absolute mental thing for me. So, yeah.
Mental game is massive in this. And that's half the thing with like Phil and Kevin doing that, sort of changing where they go with their new system is they do a lot of mindset stuff. And I need to listen to a lot more. My problem, as I said, is mindset. Everything goes out the window. I shit the bed on a stage, that's it. My match is done. The problem is that always happens on the first stage, because you always get the first stage jitters. You go on, you shit the bed, that's it. And then, like, Trez literally just said, mate, I don't even want to fucking talk to you, and just walked off at one match. He says, you're just stressing me out. I'm dreadful, but that's the whole point. So 2023 is just woosah and just enjoy my shooting, basically.
There's something the 4 of us share in common as well. It seems to be like over the past couple of years, we've probably invested more in other people's shooting than what we've done in our own shooting.
I thought you were going to say it was all shit then.
and I think I mean, I've talked about my own personal goals for this year, but sitting above all of that is getting Luca into shooting, and he's just got his FAC in the new year. We need to get him sort of practicing a bit more and getting more. He's getting there with the 2-2, and we'll continue to do a lot of the 2-2 matches. But I need to get him more up to speed with the centre fire shooting as well. So I'm absolutely, if you ask me what is my actual main goal this year, it's a commitment to making sure that he's shooting a hell of a lot better than I can ever shoot, and he's kick on. I'm getting. There's a reason why I wear a hat on camera, and that's because I'm getting. Yeah, I'm more worried about him than I am myself now. Right, guys.
Well, there's just the PRS UK goals instead of our own goals. PRS UK goals.
Yeah,
I'd like us to put on, or at least try to put on, the best matches in Europe this year.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
That's my personal goals at PRS UK.
Yeah, we said about it.
We kind of talked about it. Let's really knuckle down and go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that comes as no surprise to me, James, because whenever I've spoken to you guys, I've always got the impression that you want to put on the best events of anybody. So yeah, don't doubt it. That means you're going to have to travel around Europe now to a few matches and just figure out benchmark yourself.
How bad's that?
The data on the bank account says no, but my head says yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to get on the road.
This year's going to be. I've got invites from so many people to go to shoot hogs of driven pigs, and then Seeker and Reading Island and this and that in Germany. I'm like, I can't do it all. I've got too much going on.
No. I know what you mean.
This year's going to be absolutely crackers, but we'll be knackered at the end of it. And that October 7th next year, when we're a dribbling mess.
I'm sure between summer and October it can't come quick enough, but
yeah,
at the minute, let's get it.
Yeah,
isn't it great though? Best years of our lives.
It is. Yeah,
I love it, me. I just like this sport and hunting and all of that, and the community that we've got. It's just amazing. I cannot look back on my life and wonder why I wasn't doing this back then. Yeah. I'm just like, what was I doing for all of those years before I was doing this? Just like
it's like nothing else.
And on that note,
yeah. Well, look, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure and a joy having you on the show. I think we probably, it feels like we left it too late to get together. But then it also feels like we've done it at the right time as well. Isn't that? Yeah. It's a bit strange.
I think it's the right time. Yeah, I think we've done it.
It feels like the right time, but then at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, but we could have done this so much, further ago.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like, but I think what that tells me is that what we should do is we should do this more often. Yeah, I think it's absolutely right that what we do is we use the podcast to talk about Precision Rifle Series UK, get the message out about what you guys. I know you're very successful in getting the message out there. Anyway, I'm not saying in any way or form that you need us to do that, but I think the GBPRA, PRS UK collaborating so well. What we should absolutely do is make sure that we continue to work together to get the message out about Precision Rifle Series UK. So if you're up for it, let's do more podcasts this year. Let's get together after Modern Day Sniper. Let's
debrief.
Let's talk about how that went. When you've done a match, let's, it doesn't have to be after every single match, but periodically let's get together and talk about how the season's going, about how the series is going for you. We can maybe talk about, get a little bit into, we had this stage on this match and we saw these people do really well on it and some people struggled on it because of X, Y, and Z. And let's talk a little bit more in detail about what's actually going on at matches and training events and other things. I think people would really like to hear about that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. The more the less of the necessarily the actual planning and the actual shooting stuff, but like the nitty gritty of running a series and and how things work and etc. That I think that'd be good for the listeners to
tell us how you're getting on against your personal goals and your Precision Rifle Series goals, and how your new rifles are working out and your calibers and all that sort of stuff. I'll let you know how Luca's getting on. And
yeah, absolutely, sounds good.
Definitely
sounds like a plan.
Guys, before I close it, have you got anything else that you wanted to cover? Anything else you wanted to say? Do you want to plug a few sponsors, mention a few people, anything that you feel like we haven't covered that you want to get out there before we end?
No, just a big thanks to the sponsors. Know who they are. I can list them all off, but the sponsors know who they are, and we do try and make sure that they know that we're very grateful for whatever we do receive, whether it's something large or whatever it may be from them. We can't do it without their support. But the shooters, without you guys, we literally can't put a match on. So let's get everybody on there. Let's get the first match even bigger than the finale was last year. And to be honest with you, it's looking like it's going to be as well. So yeah, we will see you in a few weeks in February, ladies.
One thing to say.
By the way, we've got we have 3 lady shooters at this match. So
which is good. Yeah. So there's a ladies trophy. Let's see some juniors, and we can get a junior trophy. We are going to be at the shooting show on the Zeiss stand. There'll be one of us there every single day. So if you do come across us and you want to ask any questions, maybe you don't want to write an email or contact us, social media or whatever, and you want to talk to us in person, we'll be there on the Zeiss stand. You'll see us.
And the British Shooting Show is what, 17th, 18th, and 19th of February at the NEC in Birmingham. So yeah, make sure, guys, if you're listening and you haven't thought about going to the British Shooting Show before, it's not all about hunting. Lots of target spot stuff going on there and whatnot. And I'll be there on the Saturday. Precision Rifle Series U.K. on the Zeiss stand will be there, and obviously, your main title sponsor, isn't it, Zeiss? And
Zeiss, yeah.
And you guys effectively, along with Tom Rice, shoot for Team Zeiss.
Yeah, we're PRS Team Zeiss, yeah.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So yeah, guys, get along to the British Shooting Show. Meet the fellas there in person. That would be good.
You can't miss
the celebrities that James, Andy, and Trez are now.
I don't know about
that. You are after this podcast. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Look forward to welcoming you back onto the show another time soon, and look forward to seeing you at the range. So if you want to, do you want to say good night to everybody?
Good night. And remember, keep your fucking face on the gun.
I
had to steal it from Phil.
Right, be good to one another. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Christian. Thank you.